Well, hello once again, everyone. It's Bob Martin, the RCSubGuy with the Nautilus Dry Docks, and it is the beginnings of another week. If you're here, hoping you're interested in RC submarines, because that's pretty well what we do here most of the time. We're going to get into all of our successes, failures, challenges, opportunities. Open up for some discussion if you guys want to chime in the comments below. This week, we got a big focus on our 38-inch Typhoon RC submarine. I would really like to see this thing in a functional state by the end of the week. We'll see if that happens or not. We're going to get Helldiver boxed up and get it the heck out of here, and we're going to get our 38-inch RC Shark on the bench and get that thing all set to go. It's going to be a busy week. Let's get started. So what you see here is the 38-inch Typhoon, and this is based on the 3D files that I've got on my website. Now this is a little smaller. This is 1/200th scale. The files that are on my website are 1/144th, which is a bigger, more convenient, and much easier to work on scale. But this is what the customer wanted. This is what the customer is going to get. This is going to be a custom build, and the reason being is they had a lot of extra features that he wanted, including magneto hydrodynamic propulsion for Red October. So this is going to be a Red October build. We're going to have some cool LED lights rigged up for inside of there. We're going to have running lights in the conning tower, obviously. And for the first time, I'm going to mess around with some transmitter sounds that I've extractified from the actual movie, and we're going to pair that to functions. So we'll get old Ramius shouting some orders to people on the boat. It should be pretty fun, and obviously we'll show you guys how to do that if you've got the Free Sky radios. What I'm doing right now, my waterproof box is all done, finished, and ready to go. We need to test it for water integrities. So I'm going to put a test hose on there right now. I don't think it's going to work. So these dry waterproof boxes have the challenge of potentially flexing in here. You want to have even pressure on the seals inside. I have 6 bolts on here. I don't know that that's enough, but we'll see. We'll try. Option 2 is to take this angle aluminum and put it on like this, and that will create rigidity along the longitudinal axis, and that could increase our pressure on the seals. And if that doesn't work, we'll just pop that off, and we'll just run a little bead of RTV around it, bolt it down, and you'll be good to go. In a perfect world, the only time you'd ever need to access that particular compartment is in the case of a failure. So hopefully that doesn't happen very often. If something did go wrong or you wanted to check it, you just get a little screwdriver in, pop the top off, and check it out, do your thing, another little bead of silicone, screw it down, and you're done. We do have a little access hatch on the top. You can see I got a seal in there, so you can check for leaks or that kind of thing. And always, after every run, you want to open this up, air it out, just in case there's a drip hiding in there. Those pesky, tricksy little drips of water, if you leave them in an enclosed environment, they'll just evaporate, get into all of the expensive bits, and mess it up over time. So I'll open it up, vent it out, and it'll be good. I'm feeling confident about that. Let's install that test hose and check status of the integrities, shall we? So, got the waterproof box in there with a test hose, just a short one, and I give it a little blow, and it is giving me some back pressure, but there is a little bit of leakage going on. So I got to figure out where it's coming from. It may be the lid, it's probably the lid, or it could be someplace else. Won't know until we put it in the top secret test facility and look for bubbles. Put it in the water, blow, look for bubbles. That'll show you exactly where the leak is coming from. Other thing I did, smeared a little bit of sealant around the outside of the hard battery case, so that's cooking off here right now as well. And the Red October had the Caterpillar drive, the magneto hydrodynamic drive, and these little doors in the side opened up to allow the water to come out. There's holes in the bow over there, the intakes, and then these are the outputs. Now, I was getting kind of fed up with figuring out how to rig all these up, but you know what? I had quite a lot of coffee this morning, and I was feeling a little ambitious, so let's take a look. I wanted to have these things, my vision for this was to have the pressure from the pump pressurize these compartments right here, and then blow out these little doors. Burp, burp. And I was getting kind of fed up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to glue them open like this. But I'm like, you know what? Let's just try something here. So I got my Stretch Magic. This is great for rigging on like World War II era boats where you've got those big antenna lines stretching from the conning tower, you know, to the back and stuff. So I had already accommodations. There's a little hook in there. And this runs out, and now I just boop, boop, boop. Spring loaded. Will it work? I mean, the water's got to go somewhere, right? So I'm thinking it probably should. The other thing we're going to do is use clear lids for the top of the pressure compartments here and put blue LED lights tied into the pump. So when the pump kicks on, the blue lights kick on, and you get the Caterpillar drive. Yeah, and they'll be off, you know, so there's no light leakage around the outside if the drive is not engaged. If it works, it's going to be pretty cool. Of course it'll work. Everything always works here at the dry docks. The very first time, right? Monday! All right, what do we got going on? I tested the watertight compartment yesterday. A couple places. The seal around the lid seems to be perfect. That's weird. Couple little spots. It was leaking from around one of these seals, so obviously one of these little nipples here weren't sealed. So what I actually decided to do was laminate this whole thing with resin, and you can see nice and shiny. So I just put a little layer on there. It'll soak in all the cracks and everything. There was a spot down here that was leaking, so yeah, we'll get it. I'm gonna do both sides. But yeah, I'm super surprised that the main seal seemed to be perfectly fine. Who knew? This morning, back to Typhoon. Primed the inside of the upper hull and did a little bit of research. It looks like the inside of the missile hatches are basically red, and then the caps, the little hemispherical caps there, are green, as are the actual missiles. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do in terms of putting details underneath where the missiles are. I think I might. I've got files for the missiles, so I might put some fake missile heads underneath there. So we'll see how that goes. I've got to do some removable periscopes in there as well. What I'm doing right now, busted out some clear acrylic. I'm going to put the caps, the enclosures on the top of these Caterpillar pods in the back, and then grab some blue LEDs, make sure I get those wired in before I wire these to the actual compartment. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Covers and lights in place. Ran the wires up alongside, plumbed into the pump, and now we have pumpage and lightage. And this shine through is going to be, of course, addressed once we get the primer and paint on the outside, but you'll see that blue LED shining out of the Caterpillar drive when it gets activated. So that should be pretty cool. And intentionally, I didn't want to paint over the clear on the inside now that the lights are installed, because having a little bit of light shine through here might be kind of neat as well to give a visual indication that your Caterpillar is engaged. So yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. We just got to wait for our compartment to cure, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the other side, and then we can install some quick updates. I just threw the hull together. In the meantime, while that kicks off, might as well do something else. Drilled and tapped a stainless bolt to hold the hull together, and did a little filling. The way I managed to do this is the entire upper hull is 3 pieces, and the lower hull was 2. So that's pretty cool. Just one seam here and here, and then one underneath, and then just a little bit of filling in the back here. So tomorrow we can do some, well, because I don't have any shop time tomorrow, but Wednesday we'll be doing some sandifications, smoothifications, priming, and then LED lights. That'll be ready for installation. The to-do list is getting shorter. Wednesday, I put together the Typhoon box with the new resin reinforced caps. Pressure tested it, 100% water integrity. I put these bars on here as well. I haven't actually tested to see it should fit. It'll be fine. Other thing I did, we did some sandification on the hull. So we're at primer now. I'm going to do that separately, left and right here in a minute. Open up the garage door so we don't fumigate ourselves. And then we need to wait for it to dry. And then we'll set up our next project. And Logan's making super good progress on our fleet of little drills for HDD broker. How much time do you think you got left on those?
Bit hard to say because I still have these ones over here as well that I've kind of finished up. I'd say with a bit of luck, if I focus on only this today, maybe I could be done.
Today, 2 days, yeah. This week, maybe. We got these 3 are sold, so we got to get those done here too. That's a little side project that is not submarine related. It's a bonus. While Typhoon is drying, and we've got our primer on there, actually the seams turned out really quite good, if I do say so myself. Might do a little scribing. Well, no, actually it looks good in the shade. While that's drying, we are staging up our next project, which I hope to be a fairly quick one. You know how that goes. Let's take a look. So you guys all know Sharky. Sharky McSharkface, I think, was the first one we did. Wasn't that what we called him? Sharky McSharkface?
Was the first one Smiley?
And then there was Smiley, Chuckles. We've done a lot. Anyhow, this is a modified version that's been optimized. This has all been resin 3D printed. I modified the file so now we have full open gills. You don't have to do that really hard part of opening that up yourself. And here's the thought. So many people have been reaching out, either wanting the Shark or wanting the 3D files. I'm finally caving, I think. Don't quote me on that, but this is the thought. We're gonna build out McSharkface here. We need to come up with a new name. At any rate, I'm gonna do a full build up, step by step, including all of the components, how I put it together, so that if anybody wants to 3D print and build one, they'll be able to do it. Now, it's still a big Shark. You need a big printer for this. You know, it can be segmented, but it'll be a lot of cutting and splicing and gluing and fiberglassing, but you guys want it. You gotta queue yourself up for the work. So it'll be a whole separate build series. Well, I mean, it'll also be documented here in the main channel, but we'll have a dedicated video step by step on how this thing is put together. That's the idea. So the big stumbling block here, which isn't really a stumbling block, but it's an opportunity, is the radio for this thing, because you know, you need a low frequency radio to pair with it that can do mixing of channels. Now we can use the KMC throttle jockey, but you're going to be looking at about, I think, $50 just for that module. So it starts adding up. what I came up with is this Radio Master Pocket Majigger with a 900 megahertz conversion package. But what I've got to figure out how to do is connect this SPP module to the receiver. These are 8-channel radios, people, and they're super, super cheap. I have to go back and check my pricing, but this would be ideal for this. And we got all the rest of our stuff. Waterproof box, batteries, speed controllers, switch. That's it. Simple, simple, simple. You can do it. We're going to get started on this, and we're going to see what we can do. And these are the Apis Queen thrusters that you can get off of Amazon. They're relatively inexpensive. You need 2, and I do recommend a clockwise and counterclockwise thruster. Now, I've done it using the same direction, and it works. And actually, it's a little easier to get the shark under in one direction. But this is what you want to do, because you can buy them in pairs like this. Part of the 3D printed files are these mounting brackets, but in order to use these, we got to cut off these little flanges. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on my bandsaw. But you can use normal saw, you can use a cutoff wheel on your rotary tool, you can do anything you want, but you got to get that off of this. And this is what you end up with, a nice smooth contoured thruster with no mounting flange on the outside. And this is the mounting bracket. Now, what you're going to want to do is slip it on from the direction of the thruster, not the body direction of the thruster. This goes into the shark, not out of the shark. So that's the direction it goes. Flange, flat flange, up. And you're just going to orient this so that the intakes are open, and push it down until you just see the top of those intakes on the top edge there. After you test fit it, you can pop it off. Use a little RTV, also known as silicone. Smear it around the perimeter there. Press this down, glue it, and continue for the other side. So since you got your silicone out, we're going to address our battery. Now, the kind that I recommend that's going to be down in there has a hard plastic case on it. And that's going to make it really easy to waterproof. But what you need to do is take these stickers off the side to uncover the seam of the plastic case so that we can fully waterproof it. Scrape it off, sand it off, grind it off, do whatever you need to get the bare plastic. And then we're going to take a little sandpaper and rough it all up so that everything sticks really good. So when you get silicone, it's going to come with these little plastic precision applicator tips for your tube. And we're going to use that to help waterproof this battery. Now I'm going to use silicone for waterproofing the wire egresses, the exits in the case here. And I'm going to use JB Weld to secure the outside, just because I don't want it to be sticky when I'm grabbing it, you know, with the silicone. But let's start with the wires. We're going to take our tip and we're going to jam it in this opening, and we're going to squeeze it until it starts pressing out from around. So we do the one side, and we're going to do the other side, and then we're going to go to the outside of the wire, press it over, goop it in, other side of the wire. Basically, you need to do all around all of the wires. Press it in, squeeze it out, and then in between both of those wires. All right? A little wet on your finger. Clean it up. And you're left with a nice, clean seal for where your wires exit the case. You do the same thing for the balance port. Let's keep going. Now that we have our thrusters adhered to the rings, we're going to install them inside the shark body. And you can see I got one mounted in there already, and I configured this so that both wires kind of come out, 45 degrees, so they'll meet in the middle here. I use stainless steel screws. You could also, which would probably be a better idea, use bolts. Tap this out and thread it so that you could thread those in. Just be careful, guys. If you're going to use these screws, make sure you pre-drill the hole to the appropriate diameter of the screw shank, because if you go in there when that hole's too small, you could crack it. I'm just saying. This resin is not overly, flexible. So if you stress it too much, you might get cracks. But I'm going to go ahead, mount the other one, and we'll move on. So quite a bit of work done, even though it's like not exciting and nothing I really need to share with you. What I worked on this morning, all morning, was setting up a cylinder. You guys have seen it before. This is an R&R 80 mil with a brushed motor and the forward servo, my forward servo upgrade. Ron does it a little bit differently. He mounts his servos like inside, which extends the length by about that big. So that's what I do. But this is part of a skipjack conversion package. So it comes with all the shafts, control rods, all the bulkheads. Look at the pre-assembled linkages. That is awesome. So if you're doing a skipjack or you're thinking about doing a skipjack, this is the way to go. But this is all set up with a 900 megahertz radio, pitch controller. It's all done. It's all ready to rock, ready to install. And Logan's working on our big drills over there. We got a little fleet of little ones. Look how cool and cute they are. We're working on some decals, some do-it-yourselfer decals. But the thing about these, they're not, like when you go to put them on, because they're water slide, the ink all bleeds. So you have to clear them with clear before you can install them. And then he's got some other stuff to do. We sold a Nautilus kit we got to get packed up, and he's got to run to storage for me. I've been working a little bit on doing some research on getting these radios set up with all of these different modules and stuff. All the FPV drone guys, for them it's probably all old hat, but I mean, it's new for me. We got to learn it. Last thing I want to do, I told you guys I created that diving deep donation imperative so you guys could donate to the dry docks, and I appreciate it. You guys have been awesome. I just wanted to do a shout out. I printed out a list of everybody that's donated, and it's just a big shout out to Mike, Bob, Charles, John, Steve, Ron, Charles, Lewis, Andrew, Jason, and Lewis. Lewis was a double donor. That's pretty awesome. Really appreciate this. And like I said, any of you guys, you're always welcome to hit me up and give me a topic for a fast attack. I know I haven't cranked many out. I've been super busy. Maybe this weekend we'll crank one out. I got an idea for a quick and dirty one that I think you will like. But at any rate, I blew all my time putting cylinder together. So time to pack up, leave the shop to Logan, and get my normal day started. Well, I'm waiting on a new control box for our Shark, because the other one that I had was too big. The S3 box that I would typically use, I think it was 2,500. I don't know, whatever, that size. It would not fit. So I ordered a new project box, IP65 rated. It'll be here this morning. But I got other stuff to do, so we might as well go back to Typhoon. So what I did, I went ahead and joined my upper and lower rudder control rods. I ran into a little issue, just a little one, just a small one. That's going to add a little bit of time. So they got these connected now. Where did it go? And look at that. They're opposite each other. Dang it. Somebody should have put some thought into this back when they were working in the stern, right? That would have been smart. So now we get to make a tower. Something else I'm kind of just noticing now is when I put my box in place, you can see the outputs are actually like in. Let me see if I can get this in here. Hold on a second. If I tuck this in, and tuck this in. Get in there. Get in there. What's going on here? Are my hoses pinched? There. So, right in there is where I need to be working on my linkages, and that's a dark and scary place. So, not super excited about that. So, I'm wondering if I should cut an access hatch in the bottom to make life super awesome easy for me. Can I do it? Can I do it? The problem is I need to make that tower now to reverse the direction of those rudders. A little bit of pre-planning would have saved all of this problem, but now this is all glued, filled, sanded, primed. I'm not going to go back. I'm not going back. Could I go back? I think I only glued it on the ends. Well, I guess sometimes the careful application of concentrated force goes a long way. This broke nice and clean, right off, ready for reinstallation. And I swapped over the horn to the other side. So now, in theory, when I pull and push, the rudders will go in the same direction, which is always a good thing when you're trying to steer. So I got my box sitting in place, and now you can see I've got my drive shafts connected, and they're spinning nice. They're spinning nice, at least by hand. You know, that's a good thing. Now what I need to do is connect my linkages, and I think I can do that by pulling that up, and I got my wheel collar over the top. You can see in there, and I drilled 2 little holes in the top so I can get my wrench down and tighten and loosen. And I wanted to do that so that the access for adjustment was easy. Now in most submarines you just take the top off and everything is there. This is all tucked in the back, which is pretty common, you know, in some submarines. If you don't make it convenient, you won't do it. You'll be like, so it's pulling a little bit to the right, I'll just fudge it or whatever. Make it easy. Do it right the first time. And we've got some successification. I've got everything hooked up, strapped up, bolted down, ready to go. And what do we got going on back here? Let's take a look. Why? What do we got? We got rudder. We got dive planes. And we got throttles. Very good. Now, for some weird reason, this electronic switch doesn't want to turn off. It'll turn on, but it won't turn off. Off, 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 off. Okay, alright. Yep, yep, okay, not a problem. I don't think I need to do anything to this. This is locked in right here. So, I think what we're going to start doing is hooking up some of this stuff. So just a little bit of soldering and wire connecting and stuff. So I got my pump hooked up, my rear lights hooked up. I have a lighting lead for the upper hull right here, and battery connector. I need to make a cap for the charging port. I'm going to do that here in a little bit. And what am I doing now? Oh yeah, forward dive planes. I almost forgot about the forward dive planes. So what I did is I added a little extra arm out the back here, and we're going to use some of our little magnetic click-on connectors. So the top will just like that, without having to do up any connectors and stuff. So the rod, in theory, will just drop down when you're getting ready to put it all together, and then you just slide it back, and it'll lock in. This is a bit of a problem. I did not think this through. The side of the control box extends an 1/8 of an inch over these side rails, these reinforcement bars. So I've got to notch these like this. Not a biggie. Not a biggie. And this is, by the way, a switch for the lights. Customer wanted to be able to turn them on and off. I don't know, people. I don't know. In my mind, you want the lights to come on when the model's on and off when the model's off. Whatever. Notchification, connectification, and yeah, we'll need to figure out some adjustability in here too. And we're good, I think. So now it's just testing. Test all the functionalities. Let's see what happens. Grab our radio, batteries plugged in, power on. Okay. Let's try rotor, dive planes. Oh, what's going on there? There we go. Throttle. Throttle working. Ballast pump works. Oh, there we go. Hit the wrong switch. That's what happened. And the lights are coming on with the Caterpillar. I'm guessing the only thing I really need to check now is lighting output. Let's get a little LED light. Do I have a little LED light? I've got a big LED light. Let's see what happens. Light. No light. Light. No light. We did it! Just got to figure out why it doesn't want to turn itself off. Which is weird. This is enough of a win for me today. So I think that's where we're going to leave it. Yeah, it is time to wrap this video up. We did okay. We got some sharkification going on. The Typhoon is coming along really good. I did manage to sell my 5-fish ROV. I'm excited about that. Hey, before I let you go though, I got a new product announcement. If you haven't seen it on my website or on Facebook, Randy Sanders released a new 196 scale US Ohio class set of STL files. Absolutely gorgeous. I have those getting printed on my printer right now, just as a test. At that size, it's 7 feet long, or 6 feet long, 70 inches, with I think a 5-inch beam. Sizable boat, but man, if you are into SSBNs, the Ohio is the epitome of the embodiment of a missile boat. So go ahead and grab that. It's available for purchase and download on my website. With that, like and subscribe. You guys know the drill. Drop your comments, send me emails, do all the things. Have a great rest of your day, and we will catch you next time.